Two steps forward, one step back.
Hello and welcome to my blog Pappa Stig. Being an adopted parent can often feel like you are on a constant roller coaster, and other times it can also feel like you can't see the light in a tunnel. It's quite hard sometimes to adopt children, especially if they are a little bit older and have been through quite a lot in their lives. But at the same time, I also can understand our children when they are constantly testing the boundaries and testing if we love them and if we are going to send them back. Because like my oldest son, of age of 6, he had already moved 5 times. And you know, I think most of us would feel exactly the same, testing and testing. And that's why we constantly needed to reassure him that he was always going to stay with us. Early on this week, my oldest son went on a 4-day school trip. He was very, very excited about it because they were going to do lots of exciting activities like canoeing, bicycling, swimming, zip wire. And there were a total of 13 children and 13 adults. And this trip is an annual event at Gloucester House, a specialist school my oldest son have been to for the last 3.5 years. But it was also going to be his last school trip because later on now in the year he's going to move on to mainstream school. Normally when he attends this school trip we don't get a phone call, but on the 3rd day I get a phone call from the headmistress telling me that he had put himself and another girl in danger. And normally when they are breaking these rules they have to be sent home. We had a conversation and also was speaking to Josh, and we felt that we wanted to give him a second chance, and I really was trusting him that he was going to do the right things from now on. And I said that I was going to trust him and let him try. But just a couple of hours later I get another phone call. He had continued not listening to adult instructions and was starting to be quite angry and volatile because he didn't get what he wanted. And he was now being restrained while I was on the phone call. And headmistress was quite clear that we had to come and pick him up. And she then quite quickly had to hang up because she needed to go and help the other member of staff holding my son. My husband Phil started a 3-hour car journey down to New Forest to pick him up. When he arrived I didn't exchange too many words and got Josh in the car and was trying to just keep it calm for the 3-hour car journey on the way back again. We felt that we went back a couple of steps. This kind of situations makes us feel very worried. Worried about my son's future. Is he able to cope with mainstream school? Seems like he have a desire to be in control all the time and have problems to follow rules and adults' instructions. Feels like he's taking it quite personally. He doesn't seem to want to understand that the rules apply to everyone. In this case, to everyone attending the school trip. So we are very worried about his future and what kind of path he will choose. What we can do as parents is to guide him and give him love and support him, and we will always do. But in the end of the day, it's his choice. So this weekend we have worked a lot on doing repair. And on Monday we're going back to school to have a meeting to talk through the incident which happened on the school trip. And hopefully we will then take a couple of steps forward.